This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
Very, very happy to have my special guest in studio here today. It's Kiran More, ex-India wicket-keeper, ex-chairman of selectors, and now a man who's very, very well known in the media. Kiran, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rishikesh.
I've got to tell you this. I'm a huge fan. You were one of the most charismatic wicket-keepers on the field. Who is your favorite captain of all time that you've played under? I mean, here's a man who's played under Kapil Baji, who's played under Mohammad Azharuddin. Who is your favorite and why?
I think basically I played with like Gavaskar, Kapil Dev. Gavaskar was my West Zone captain also, and then Ravi Shastri, Azharuddin, Krishnamurti Shrikant. But Kapil had some different charisma. Like basically comes from a very small place, Haryana, and very hardworking person. I learned a lot from him, and very raw. And then he used to set a great example, on the field also, and while practicing also. So I used to like Kapil quite a lot, and he used to tell me a few things in his own way, and you have to understand what Kapil wants to explain to you. But what a person to have him as a captain and a great student of the game also, and learn a lot from him. And definitely Azharuddin, I played a lot of cricket with Azharuddin. I was vice captain, and Azhar was a captain, and Azhar became a very successful captain for Indian team. So I played with one of the top captains, But when I seen Sunil was not my captain. As an Indian team, but he was captain of West Zone team. I seen him how he handles the team, the situation of the game, and he was my room partner also. And actually, I was his room partner, you can say that. And we used to share rooms, but learn a lot from these guys. And if you talk about the captainship, I think Kapil for me, I think was always because I started under him. He was my first captain. So when I made my Test match debut, also a one-day debut, Kapil was the one who encouraged me quite a lot and gave me opportunities and learned a lot from him actually, because I also come from a very small place, Baroda, and definitely we have about a cricket culture in Baroda. But for me, Kapil was a big hero for me, and because Kapil was a star cricketer those days, and when he won the World Cup '83, he took that Indian cricket on a different level. For me, I think Kapil was the best captain.
Karsan Ghavri was here in the same chair that you're sitting, and he said one of the beauties about a good captain is that after the playing day is over, you can sit and make some masti with them. And he picked Bishan Singh Bedi, saying that Mr. Bedi used to call them back to the room, cook for them and have fun. So with Paji, with Kapil Dev, was it like that? After play was over, you used to have a good time too?
Yeah, of course. I think it was way more earlier. It was more like a social game. I think you end of the day, you definitely play very hard, and evening you enjoy yourself. And definitely we used to play cards. A lot of people used to like drinking also. So I think those were the days. I think people used to enjoy more off the field activities. We used to go out for dinners. Now you can't go out for dinners. Now you are confined to one room now basically, and a lot of security issues, a lot of anti-corruption problems for the players. So they don't get free time also now because they are so busy. They have their managers now. Earlier we no manager for us also, and now they are their own agents they have. So it has become a different ball game altogether for the people who are playing now. But our time, I think evenings used to be more fun, and we used to look forward for the evenings. We used to go out for dinner, and we used to miss some strange people also on the tour, especially the Indians who used to come forward and ask for would like to have an Indian meal. So we used to go to their houses, and we made some great friends all over the world, and still they are my friends. If I go to Jamaica or Guyana, or we go to Australia or England or New Zealand, I have the friendships going on forever, and if I send somebody also from here, my friend is coming to New Zealand, I'll call my friend that please look after him, they'll look after him, because they have become very like a family, and that's what it is. The best thing is when you travel the world, that's the best education we get. So when you travel the world, we met some great friends, and this is the best education I got from them.
Beautiful. And Kiran More is sharing some of his education with us. Ex-India wicket-keeper in conversation with me. Don't go anywhere. 94.3 Radio 1.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
Almost 50 test matches, almost 100 one-day internationals. Kiran More has so much expertise and experience on the field as well as off the field. He is my special guest today. Wicket-keepers. It's so beautiful to see A.B. de Villiers, Kumara Sangakkara, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. People who are not just fantastic keepers but also leaders. I remember, when I was a little boy, an interview of you where you said it's so difficult to be a captain and a wicket-keeper because you have to keep concentrating on the ball, and then look to field placements and things like that. Do you agree? Being a wicket-keeper captain is very difficult.
Absolutely. I think I rate Dhoni, for me, is number one wicket-keeper batsman and captain in the world. And the way he has taken this job is unbelievable, especially when you play in India. The passion is different, the pressure, the media pressure, the public pressure, and they love you. But if you don't do well, I think they hate you also. So that's the reason I think I rate Dhoni in a way. He comes from Jharkhand, I've seen Dhoni growing in Indian cricket. I saw him first time. He was so raw, and he's become India's captain and he's carrying on. He's won the World Cup. India has been number one test team in the world, one days, T20 championship. So I think for me, captain as a wicketkeeper is always difficult because you're watching the ball all the time, you're reading the game all the time, you're instructing the ballers also, the fielders also, and plus you're having so many team meetings, so many issues regarding selection process also. So I think carry on all those pressure and to captain on the field, I think is the most difficult job, and that's why people when say about that Dhoni's wicketkeeping, people talk about it. Is that my observation of Dhoni is that he doesn't miss stumpings and catches. He might be missing a couple of balls here and there, but for the percentage of catching and stumping, and especially the tense situation, I think for me Dhoni mind really works brilliantly, and his concentration levels goes very high, and that's why you look at he's the first person to have a 500 victims in international cricket from India. That's history for itself, and he's going to carry on. And the way he handles the situation with the team also going under pressure. Last 3 test series we had lost, and we lost the home series, and now we have won the home series against Australia. So he has come back very strongly, and he's trying to build a team also for the future. And way he has done the job, I think it is very credible, and he's going to go big time in the Indian cricket history. And I hope he carries on and makes the Indian team a champion team for the future as well.
Who is your favorite wicketkeeper from the past and current? Current, you've already said Dhoni, but other than Dhoni, there are so many other wicketkeeper batsmen. In the past, of course, we had the flamboyance of Farooq Engineer, the Alan Knotts, the Ian Healeys, all these fantastic keepers yourself. So pick one past wicketkeeper and one current wicketkeeper.
Past one, I used to really, my idol was Bob Taylor. So I used to try to, copy him quite a lot. And his style of wicketkeeping was unbelievable. I think one of the smoothest wicketkeeper I've seen come across. Technically very correct. And anybody who's watching, I think, should watch Bob Taylor keeping wickets. So you don't make any mistakes, And he played in very, very late in his career. But what a fantastic wicketkeeper. And definitely Alan Knott, was outstanding, to keep wickets on those pitches where there was no covers on the pitches, and standing up without helmet, without any protection, and keep wickets was unbelievable. And the current lot, I think, for me is Dhoni definitely. But I rate some of the wicket keepers in India who are very outstanding, and especially to keep wickets in subcontinent is always difficult. For me, Dinesh Karthik, Parthiv, Ridhiman Shah, they are outstanding wicket keepers. I think the unfortunate part is that the captain of Indian team is Dhoni, wicketkeeper batsman. Otherwise, all these 3 guys would have definitely would have played more number of test matches. I think they are born at the wrong time. That's what I feel.
Very poignantly put. In conversation with the one and only Kiran More, a legend of the game. Don't go anywhere.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
I'm in conversation with Kiran More. He's allowing me to soak in so much of his experience as a player, a professional. You've been chairman of the selectors. There are 2 views of selection committee members. One is somebody like Sabah Karim, who's a friend, and Sabah says, Rishi, don't ask me any questions. I'm a selector. You're a member of the press. So even off the mic, there are lots of times he doesn't want to give a comment, and I respect that. And then there is the other end of the spectrum, people like Mr. Jimmy Amarnath, who've gone and openly criticized and made a closed door meeting public. Your thoughts on the role of a selector and whether a selector should be able to talk or not talk or be gagged?
I think it's very, very important area of the team, India especially, and that's the selection committee who does I will say difficult job. It's always a challenging job. That's what I always believe in that. So I think it's a very challenging job. You have to take your calls, and I always believe that the selection process, whatever discuss, it should be confined to the room only, because it's a very high level meeting. We're talking about somebody's career, somebody's some strong decisions we are taking, and what are the roadmap for the future for Indian team also we are taking. So I think these are the thought process goes in the team meetings. It's very important. It should not go out. It should confine to the room, because when it leaks out, it is not good for any cricketers, even for the selectors also. And it should not be public also, I believe, because we are discussing very strong viewpoints in there. Because when things goes out, and you must have heard in medias, and the selector said that and somebody said that. So I think it doesn't help the team especially, and any cricketers also, and it affects their the performance also. So I think it should be remain in the closed door, and because it's very confidential meeting. And definitely I think chairman and selection committee or the captain is always answerable to it, and even the coach also, because end of the day I think the captain and coach, what team they need, because they are going to captain is going to captain the team on the field, because he needs a player, and he needs a team combination also. So he is a person who is going to ask for the team. This is the team I am looking at, and the selectors always the thought process goes on. What we are looking at, we are looking for the future team. We are looking for 2 young players to be promoted in the Indian Indian team. So that process has to go on. And that is the selector's job to look for the young cricketers, where they're playing in domestic cricket, who are outstanding cricketers, who are performing very well. Some guys don't perform very well, but they look very solid and they have some different temperament or different situation games. So need to observe all those points and put into the selection committee meetings. I believe that selectors' job is to work very hard. It's not an easy job, but to put a lot of thought process for the future of Indian team all the time. And I always believe that you would select the team, definitely select the 14, but when you select one player or two players or two more, I think you should always think about the future of Indian team. And that's where there should not be a backlog that we don't have a bench strength. Sometime in the last 6-7 months, we saw that we didn't have a bench strength. And suddenly now we have 2-3 players who has come into the scene. Now they're doing very well. Like Murli Vijay has done very well. Now suddenly you got Shekhar Dhawan who's coming, done very well. Jadeja, Pujara. So this thought process should have continued. I think in the last 15 months back, they could have started doing after England series. When we won the World Cup 2011, we should have started doing the process of making a new team, put some new players in the team also, 1 or 2 players, keep a healthy competition going in the team also. That didn't happen. So that's why we suffered big losses, in the last 2-3 series. And now suddenly we got some cricketers. So these cricketers were there also, at that time also available. So they were not given opportunities. So I feel that always the opportunity should be given to new cricketers, and there should be a competition that cricketers should know what is international cricket also is. Because when you're playing domestic cricket and international cricket is a different ball game altogether. So when they taste the international cricket, they know this is what I need to do. This is where I want to improve also. I always believe that always keep a healthy competition.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
Kiran More is my special guest today. Any form of cricket, he is well versed with, ex-India wicket-keeper. What I love about you is even when you were chairman of selectors, you kept saying we've got to encourage the youngsters. We've got to encourage the youngsters. We've reached a situation where you were a firm believer in Subramaniam Badrinath's abilities, Murli Vijay's abilities. At least Vijay has made himself a permanent feature in the team. There's Cheteshwar Pujara. Where does this leave Virender Sehwag and Gautam Gambhir? You think there's still place for them? You think they need to stay out for some time and come back in?
See, it's very simple, Rishikesh. If you perform, you come back in the team. And that's how they got in the Indian team also. When Virender Sehwag performed outstandingly, he got in Indian team. And Gautam Gambhir did very well, and he got into Indian team. So you have to keep on performing. There's always a competition, and the competition should remain healthy. If Murli Vijay doesn't do well, if Sehwag is doing very well in domestic cricket, he can always make a comeback. And I always feel that Sehwag is a great cricketer and performs so well. And Gautam Gambhir has also done. He's got 1800 in Test cricket. It's not easy. So I think these guys can always come back. And Gautam Gambhir, age is on his side. Viru, I think his fitness needs to improve. I think if he's fully fit, I think Viru can still deliver. And they have a lot of cricket left in there. And the way the support staff is working on all the players also nowadays. And all these players can play for long, till 38, 39 and see the international cricket. Now, if you say average age, I think there are a lot of seniors who are playing in the international cricket circuit. So I think Viru and Gautam can always come back. And if tomorrow Shekhar Dhawan doesn't do well or Murli Vijay doesn't do well, they can always come back. And they are outstanding. They are done very well for India. And I always believe that age is not a criteria for the selection. If you're doing well, and they can walk in, because we will need them also. Something happens tomorrow, Shekhar Dhawan, he was not fit. Gautam Gambhir could have walked in straight away, next test match. Or Ajinkya Rahane got opportunity. So I think when you're going on the tour, they'll have to carry 3 openers also. If somebody gets injured also, the experienced guy who's available for you is Virender Sehwag. But he needs to perform very well. And that's why selector has to monitor that. If these guys do well, if they have more hunger, they want to perform, they can be always selected.